What if quitting your job, moving back home, and living off your parents wasn't failure, but your next strategic move? No alarm clocks, no morning traffic, no soul crushing meetings, just home cooked meals, quality time with your family, and get a paycheck at the end of the month. Sounds unreal? Not in China. Hashtags like full time children, full time daughter, and full time son have gone viral on major Chinese platforms such as Douban and Xiaohongshu. In today's China, being unemployed isn't always a crisis. Now, it's a career. And in some cases, these full time children can earn more than entry level office workers. Is this a life hack for a broken economy or a red flag for an entire generation? The term used by those in China literally translates to full time sons and daughters. It refers to young adults, often in their 20s or even 30s, who live at home and are paid by their parents to help out at home instead of holding a traditional job. This arrangement is not just a lazy lifestyle choice. In most cases, it's a structured and mutually beneficial system. The adult child typically stays home and takes care of cooking, cleaning, errands, tech support, caregiving, and even managing bills or organizing travel plans for the family. In return, they receive a monthly salary that ranges from 3,000 to 8,000 yuan, roughly 400 to 1,100 US dollars, comparable to or even higher than entry-level salaries in many urban jobs. For families with financial means, the arrangement is often seen as safer, cheaper, and more emotionally fulfilling than hiring outside help. A report by the National School of Development at Peking University, a top policy think tank in China, estimated that over 16 million young people in China are currently acting as full-time children, many of whom are unemployed or underemployed graduates who have returned home during a challenging labor market. To many young Chinese, becoming a full-time child is not a source of shame, but a practical, even empowering choice. In online forums, they describe it as a way to stay productive and connected, while avoiding the burnout and instability of formal employment. On Douban, a popular Chinese internet forum, there's even a group called Full-Time Children's Work Exchange Center, with over 4,000 active members. Some users express joy at not having to deal with workplace stress, while others vent their frustration and anxiety about not being able to find a job. I wish things would work themselves out, but I really don't see a way out or hope, said one user. It's normal to not be able to find a job now that the economy is not doing well. It's not our own issue, but the issue of the entire society, another user replied. Some see it as a chance to repay their parents' care, while others view it as a temporary pause to regain mental balance. For many, it's about maintaining dignity and agency in a job market that no longer guarantees those things. One user on Douban wrote, "So, what exactly does it mean to be a full-time child in real life?" Although daily routines vary, many full-time children on platforms like Xiaohongshu share snapshots of their lives, from cooking and cleaning to running errands and caring for elderly parents. Now, let's take a closer look at what full-time children actually do through a real-life example. Zhong Jiayi, a full-time daughter. In early 2023, Zhong Jiayi, a 31-year-old woman from Hangzhou, a picturesque city in eastern China, made a surprising career shift. She closed her struggling clothing business and moved back home to become a full-time daughter. Her new routine revolves entirely around caring for her aging parents. Each day starts with morning exercises together, followed by Tai Chi sessions with her mother. She handles household tasks like cooking, cleaning, and grocery shopping, but also takes on more specialized duties, organizing family travel plans, managing appointments, and troubleshooting digital devices for her parents. I go for a morning exercise with my parents after getting up. I do Tai Chi with my mom as she has been learning it. My parents love traveling, so I make plans for them. When they have trouble with digital devices, I help them too, Zhang told Sixth Tone. In return, she receives a monthly allowance of 8,000 yuan, approximately 1,600 US dollars. More than many entry-level salaries in urban China. Why do young people in China choose life as full-time children? Youth are opting for full-time child roles because living independently has become economically unsustainable. While being a full time child may seem unconventional for many young Chinese, it's a practical response to harsh economic realities and to escape from a rat race. China's job market has grown increasingly unforgiving, especially for young people. After years of rapid expansion, the economy took a major hit following prolonged COVID lockdowns. In 2023, the youth unemployment rate hit a record 21.3%, pushing millions of graduates into a state of prolonged joblessness. Even by early 2025, about 1 in 6 young Chinese remained unemployed, 16.9% in February 2025, with many struggling to land even unpaid internships. For some, even landing a job doesn't guarantee a better life. Take Amanda Chen, a recent graduate from a respected university in Hubei, specializing in traditional Chinese medicine. She quit her sales job at a state-owned enterprise just 1 month in, citing toxic work culture and her boss's unrealistic expectations. During her probation period, she earned only 60 yuan, about $8.40 USD, per day, despite working 12-hour shifts. I cried every day for a week, she recalled. Stories like Chen's are far from unique. Faced with long hours, poor pay, and rising expenses, returning home has become, for many, not a last resort, but a practical and rational decision. This shift is also deeply psychological. For many young people, the idea of joining a relentless rat race full of pressure, burnout, and cutthroat competition is simply unbearable. Becoming a full-time child offers a way out, a slower life, a sense of purpose, and emotional breathing room. The mindset draws from a broader cultural undercurrent known as the lying flat movement. It's a quiet form of resistance where young people reject the intense push for traditional success, like climbing the corporate ladder, buying property, getting married, or working punishing hours. Instead, they choose simplicity, peace of mind, and emotional well-being. Becoming a full-time child is, for many, not a fallback, but a continuation of this desire to opt out of the race entirely and secure mental health. On Douban, a 37-year-old full-time daughter shared, "I like cooking, and I cook lunch and dinner from Monday to Friday for my family. My parents give me money without interfering with my life. I'm extremely happy every day." While many young people view being a full-time child as a conscious and even empowering choice, how do their parents feel about this growing trend? For many Chinese parents, paying their adult children to stay at home isn't seen as indulgent. It's a way of offering support in tough times. Why? Experts say this growing acceptance reflects shifting family dynamics in modern China. In China, parents are more emotionally dependent on their children, while children are more financially dependent on their parents, said Lu Wenrong, a researcher at the Shanghai Academy of Social Sciences. Traditionally, children are expected to care for aging parents. But today, many parents, especially those with stable pensions and property, are now the ones providing support. For them, having their children at home offers emotional closeness and reliable care, while giving the younger generation time to recover. Some even see it as a win-win. The child avoids stress and overwork, while the parents enjoy daily support and companionship. Fei Fei, a full-time daughter, says she feels fortunate. "My family never complains or pressures me. They just said, if the situation improves, I can look for a job. If not, I can stay home." However, this support isn't always unconditional. Over time, some parents grow frustrated if their children seem stuck. One full-time daughter recalled her parents confronting her after 6 months. "You haven't passed your exams. You don't have a government job. You're still single at 25. What have you achieved? Everyone else your age has moved ahead." Behind the surface, there are real trade-offs. Being a full-time child may seem comfortable in the short term, but it comes with long-term consequences. Many lose out on work experience, drift away from peers, and face growing emotional strain. Over time, financial dependence becomes harder to break, making it even more difficult to return to the workforce or live independently. The longer they stay out of the workforce, the more difficult it becomes to return. Employers may view them as unmotivated or too old for entry-level jobs. This creates a vicious cycle of dependency, one that's hard to break without external intervention. Social reactions to full-time children are mixed. Some see it as a rational, even caring choice in tough times. Others criticize it as a sign of growing dependence and avoidance of adult responsibilities. Accusations of being lazy freeloaders, spoiled, or refusing to grow up can take a toll on their mental health and self image. The rise of full time children in China is more than a personal choice. It's a reflection of a generation navigating economic instability, emotional burnout, and shifting cultural values. For some, it's a pause. For others, it's a protest. But for all, it signals a redefinition of adulthood, work, and what it means to contribute.